be honest, I don't know what I want to say about this chapter. As soon as I saw a little bit of it, I felt like I was not gonna like this chapter. But it's something about the lines of the people here that's saying it that makes me a little bit more supportive of it. Still, though, I think we could call this both a despair and a hope chapter. But the question is now, though, is despair winning? We won't. So far, yes. So far, despair is winning. So the question is, though, if hope will win. First of all, don't forget to support Parsec if you haven't already. A very good game streaming site on the net. And secondly, this is the Angry Enemy Fan, the Despair Reviewer, bringing you the Black Bowl. No, sorry, that's the cast name. Black Clover, Chapter 157. Unfortunately, Lich was not taken out by that attack. Well, then again, if he was, people would not have stopped complaining, because after all, people can just not accept that villain to be defeated like that. But again, people, you have to realize making up too powerful villain is very dangerous. Because that villain will fall one day. So yeah, it's official that Lich is a villain. Still not exactly known on what he is thinking, unlike the other elves, but he's definitely a villain. The strange thing is, though, he lets go of the sword he took from Asta. As soon as he lets it go, it happens what I suspected. Well, maybe I didn't suspect this because I don't know if I said it. But it appears, though, that only Lich can hold his swords. Because as soon as he lets go of the sword he took from Asta, it immediately goes back to its anti-magic, proving that as long as Lich holds these swords, their powers are completely different. Only Lich can do it, meaning exactly like a lot of people have speculated. Only Aster and Lich can hold these swords. The only difference is there are different powers depending on who holds them. So either way, Lich sends both Juno and Asta flying with a tremendous amount of magic as Juno manages to grab Mimosa and they get knocked away. As he lands and Raya, it turns out his name is not Liar, it's actually Raya. I don't know why you're saying it was Liar when you say it was Raya. Huh? This is while I can criticize translation, you know. It's kind of difficult to that. But Lich for the first time speaks, but it's worth noting that when he speaks, he still is not smiling. He's saying something like, that grimoire is no longer mine. Let's go, Raya. Because apparently, Raya wanted it, of course, to get back to Lich, but Lich willingly gave up that grimoire, as well as the swords. For what reason, I don't know. But again, it seems that Lich is an entirely different resurrection than the other elves. Mostly because, well, he seems currently to be a complete mana god. He is completely and utterly one with mana. Even the way he talks now seems differently. The text when he says that seems differently. Is this the real Lich that we saw before or someone else? Either way, the spectral guy that teleported the team here is also a possessed elf. He's not possessed by an elf called Ado. As the other elves that are possessed by the people gather up, they all take control of the floating castle as they promises to go to the country of Clover and destroy the humans to unite with their comrades. As Aster wakes up, Sora is there with Melaleo, still unconscious, but they are reunited with the mushroom guy as well as Noelle. They manage to escape thanks to the mushroom as Nozelle's magic. It is worth noting that Nozelle still seems to acknowledge Asta. I mean, he's a racist, a jerk-ass, and a complete dick, but for some reason he still does acknowledge Asta, because he actually says in his mind, though, the one who got Melio after that predicament when she was cornered. So he even assists them with a magic tool, Area Closet, to heal their wounds quicker. And then Noelle and Kirsch comes up again, revealing the tragedy that even Luck was possessed by all that. And Juno still has the balls to say everyone is so pathetic. But it's still, though, it's still not exactly explained on why Juno was the only one that had become an elf and yet is not an elf. Is it just like the theorists, especially popular like Pale Ranger or many others suspect that Juno was possessed by the deceased child of Tita, and lynched. Because if he was, then that shouldn't technically mean that elf didn't have a personality yet. Or did Juno just overcome it? I mean, the truth to that matter, we don't know. All we do know is, depending on what it is, could be either hope or despair. Because then the Clover Kingdom contacts Captain Noel and reveals the disaster that the entire Clover Kingdom is under attack by people that have become elves. And let me tell you, it's not a pretty sight. The entire Clover Kingdom is dyed in black as flames of destruction all ragers over the place. It's ultimate despair as one wonders, what can they possibly do to all this? It's no wonder how it's no telling how many elves was resurrected. And Nozel says, although he seems a bit reluctant, unlike Melilio when he says that, we are magic knights. Whatever happens, we must save the Clover Kingdom. Even we must kill our fellow magic knights, even if they're killed. But then Noel says that when Luck's attack was trying to attack her, for some reason it did not hit, even when it hit with that speed. Even though it did hit Kirish, that's a different thing. And she is also saying that Juno managed to somehow overcome the possession as well. She strongly believes, it's worth noting that it's not Aster who's saying this line here. It is Noel who is saying, there must be a way to take back their will. We imagine I will save them, they can't run our friends. And Nozel is not even protesting, calling it that naive. Although his face may have a different story, it's still strange to know that he is not actually protesting and calling her naive. Although he may very well call that in the next chapter, after all, because it ends there as the team heads out. The question is, though, will they get to the Clover Kingdom in time? The Clover Kingdom is beginning to go up in flames. It's not only civilians that have become the elves, many of the Magic Knights have. In fact, I actually saw, I think I saw a cover page. Once again, this was from Pale Ranger's site, so thank you for that. Who I think that extra volume actually said which one in the Clover Kingdom had become an elf, and apparently Captain Charlotte, as well as the portal guy, Finral's evil brother, has become elves. That evil brother there was not surprising. Charlotte was a little bit more surprising. After all, she was a noble, but there was the fact that she was cursed by a witch or someone when she was children. May very well have been a grudge for that. And also, it's worth noting that Charlotte loves Yami. Is that gonna be enough to break through that will? So this is what I mean by saying, is this hope or is this despair? Because currently, despair is winning. Currently, Clover Kingdom is burning. The reinforcements are all heading towards the Clover Kingdom. Just how the hell can they awaken their comrades? And let's just say, for argument's sake, they do awaken them. Then what? It's not like the Clover Kingdom is ever gonna forgive the people that turned into elves anyway, because after all, hate is not that easily extinguished. So yeah, it's both a chapter of hope and despair. And right now, despair is winning. And I have a feeling it's just gonna keep on winning, because hope is something people look down on. Still, if you ask me, I wish Vanessa would be important in this one. If she is not possessed by an elf, then I wish she was very important in this situation. Why? Because her magic is the magic of fate, the red thread of fate. Shouldn't that be possible to get to the will of others? But that's just me talking. Give me your thoughts if you have any.